What was it like being raised in a single parent home? And what did that teach you, especially now that you are a parent? Because there's so many lessons that
single parent, right?
we don't learn when you are, maybe the child in the home. And now when you're going through, you get such a completely different perspective of things that your mother got you through. Where I sometimes look at my parents, I'm like, yay, how did you guys do this?
So firstly, I didn't realize I was raised by a single parent until I started to go to different people's homes and realize that, oh, shoot.
You thought that was
It was my norm. And it was pretty balanced. The women in, excuse me, in my family are pretty strong. And they all filled a space in my life, right? So being a single mother now is not too hard, without sounding like I am putting anyone in a negative light. But
Yes.
I was a single married woman as well. So the shift to single parenthood was just merely financial. And my boys are such love, and they love both their parents. And I'm grateful that I raised them the way I do, and it's from what I learned. There's love, there's fun. It's all a balance. It's a balancing act, and I perfected it, I think.
I have to ask, I'm very familiar with the term single married woman. When I use the term in relation to men, because I make this joke, the listeners know, where I'll say, married men in South Africa are the most single and available of them all. So in the context of a single married man, we use that as you are still available. You're using it in the context of?
I'm using it in the context of, I don't like to speak too much on someone else, as I like to speak on my journey. I think it's the most important. And in my journey, I was alone a lot with the kids.
Yes.
For whatever reason. And
which is understandable in some respects, in the sense that you were married to a person whose profession kept them traveling and all of those things. And this is not unique to, excuse me, to DJs. You've got soccer players, you've got a whole
kind
lot
of careers,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And because of that, I then found myself being the one who is the foundation and the walls of the home. I don't
Yes,
I don't know how to answer that.
Were you prepared for what it required to be married to a person in the type of career that they are in? Because we see it with, the term is what, wags, wives and girlfriends of like soccer players or sport, all of those things. Were you prepared? Because I think understanding something theoretically and then in real life is just not the same.
When life is lifing, you life.
Yes.
Right? Was I prepared? Absolutely not. I was married at 21.
You were. I keep forgetting you were a baby.
I was a baby. And I thought I had everything together, right? So when you sprung in that situation at 21 and you think, I know everything. This is going to be easy. We're in love anyway.
Yes.
Love conquers all. I mean, Cinderella, Snow White, right? It's all a fairy tale. And you soon learn that life is more real than what you make it out to be. But once you learn that you're in the lesson already, so you have the weapons and tools you need for that page in your life.
When I left the house, because Baba is homesick today, and we are, they go through that phase of just repeating the same movie. So somebody said, put on the Little Mermaid, because he's never seen it. So I put on the Little Mermaid. And if you haven't seen a movie like that in years, you forget the storyline. So there I am getting sucked in while doing some work. And then the scene came where she saves the guy, and then she decides, I'm going to go to this evil woman, Ursula, to help me become a woman because I need to be with this man. Based off of one meeting. In his mind, it's that voice, I'm in love. So then it culminates in the evil woman Ursula's trying to get them both. And this man says, Ariel, she says, you need to go, it's dangerous. They're in the water and he says, Ariel, I can't leave you. And the thought in my mind was like, guys, ropile, Disney.
No, Disney did women a disservice.
We thought it was, you meet once, you're in love, he meets, you're in love, and they live happily ever after. And I just was like, guys, because we grew up with that messaging until, of course, Brooke Logan entered the picture. And then things changed. So what was your view and understanding of what love looks like?
I didn't have an example of love, right? But I knew whatever it meant, I had to create it myself. This was a story and a chapter I had to create in my life for myself, right? I knew I wanted a partner that was all about us and the family. I knew that I wanted a partner who could protect me. I knew that I wanted a partner who could be loyal, not only to me, but the family. I knew that I wanted time. There's nothing I feel giving someone your time is the most expensive gift you could ever give them and the most meaningful gift you could ever give someone. I knew that's what I wanted. But life quickly teaches you that circumstances aren't quite the way you would like them to be. Like you just said, hey, it's not the fairy tale, right? But there's something in being close to older women that helps you catch reality really quickly, which is why people will always ask me, but why didn't you leave? You were in the newspapers all the time. Da, 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 da. For me, it wasn't about that. I had a home to build, and I was building a home, and I had promised myself, him and my children, that I am going to fight through whatever you have, whatever I have, and it's going to work. And I think that's what pulled me towards trying to build my family. It broke, but so many things break.
So tell me then, I'm giving you a minute. And because I know
1 minute is long. My gosh.
Tell me, what is the Disney story you would write for your kids? I mean, you've got boys, but let's
I wouldn't write a Disney story.
Let's picture that even if a daughter's in the picture, but that you would want them to know what love looks like, because we are quite conditioned. What would your Disney story, if I in inverted commas, what would the story be?
So I wouldn't write them a story. I think it's really important not to box anything up, because stories are so vast, love is so different, right? If you are loved the way you want to be loved, you are happy. Don't worship material. Don't let any third parties come in between the relationship, whether it be family, friends, women, men, whatever the case is. Write your story in accordance to what you want it to be. If you and your wife are cooking together, it doesn't make you any less of a man. If you and your wife, boys, you want to travel for half the year and people don't quite understand, it's none of their business. If you and your wife want to go to school together and figure life out while you're living in a shack, it's none of anyone's business. This is your life.
So write your own story.
Write your own story. I don't want to tell anyone what to do and how to do it, but be a good person doing it. I truly believe in karma. Might take long sometimes. So everything I do as well, the universe tends to give me my karma pretty quickly, which I'm thankful for, because I do believe in reincarnation, and I don't want to come back to this ghetto earth. So the quicker I learn my lessons, the better.
I'm going to, when we come back from the news, come back to the reference of ghetto earth, right? Because, yay, there are so many things we are seeing and experiencing on this